Hello everyone and welcome once again. In this video, we are going to continue with the poem Fire and Ice written by Robert Frost. And now once again a brief introduction of the poem. Fire and Ice is a highly symbolic poem by Robert Frost. This poem is a reflection about how the world will end. The poet says that the fire of lusts and endless human desires and ice of hatred among human beings will put this world to an end one day. Well, let us read the poem once again. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. Now let us quickly have a look at the themes of the poem. Hatred and power of emotions are the major themes of the poem. The poet discusses the destructive features of human emotions. He uses the symbol of fire and ice to show how desires and hatred contribute to making the world stand at the verge of chaos. Well, let us now discuss the questions given in your NCERT book, thinking about the text. Question number 1. There are many ideas about how the world will end. Do you think the world will end someday? Have you ever thought what would happen if the sun got so hot that it burst or grew colder and colder? So the answer to the question is yes, I do believe that the world will end someday, as anything which has a beginning will have an end. Hence, it is true with respect to the world. If the sun gets so hot that it burst, the whole earth would perish, as the earth cannot withstand that intensity of heat. But if the sun grows colder and colder, again the world would come to an end, since the sun is the ultimate source of energy which supports life. And question number 2, for Frost, what do fire and ice stand for? Here are some ideas: greed, avarice, cruelty, lust, conflict, fury, intolerance, rigidity, insensitivity, coldness, indifference, hatred. So we have to classify under fire and ice all these words. So fire stands for avarice, conflict, fury, greed and lust, while ice stands for coldness, cruelty, hatred, insensitivity, indifference, intolerance and rigidity. So question number 3, what is the rhyme scheme of the poem and how does it help in bringing out the contrasting ideas in the poem? Well, the answer is rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, A in the first stanza, and in the second stanza B, C, B, C, B. So it helps in bringing out the contrasting ideas of fire and ice in the poem. The poet mentions that both fire and ice are probable ends of this world. He mentions how fire represents desire, which can lead to the end of the world. He also mentions ice, which is a symbol of coldness, hatred and rigidity towards one another, which can end the world. In the second stanza, he says that he knows of enough hate in the world which can lead to the end of the world. And now some board questions. Question number 1, write down the 2 different views about the end of the world. This question has come in CBSE 2012. And the answer is there is a debate that is going on about the end of the world. People say that the world will end in fire or in ice. World is transitory, that means temporary, and nothing is permanent in this universe. Question number 2. To say that for destruction, ice is also great. For the poet, what does ice stand for? How is it sufficient to bring destruction? This question has come in CBSE 2014, and the answer is ice symbolizes hatred. Hate is just as powerful as desire. While desire consumes quickly, hate can occur and linger in people's minds and hearts for years, and sometimes even lifetimes. Hate consumers the hater perhaps even more than the person or group hated, and it can ruin lives. Hate can thus be very destructive and sufficient to bring destruction. Now, question number 3. Briefly write about the ideas about how the world will end. This is an important question that has come in CBSE 2016. And the answer is the world will end as a direct result of either fire or ice. Some scientists believe that the world would be incinerated from its fiery core, while others were convinced that the coming ice age would destroy all living things on the Earth's surface. Frost introduces a more emotional side, associating desire with fire and hatred with ice. The poem thus does not allow for any other opinions in the black and white debate between fire and ice. And now the last question. Which age-old question does the poem revolves around? This question has come in 2013. The poem revolves around the age-old question of whether the world will end in fire or in ice. This is similar to another age-old question whether it would be preferable to freeze to death or burn to death. The poet determines that either option would achieve its purpose sufficiently well. Well, let's transform our thoughts and make this world a better place to live in. With this, we come to an end of this poem and the video. I hope you have understood the poem. Thank you.